Okay, today we're going to learn the halacha if we're allowed to have in the same city two Batey Dinim. Why yes, why not? There's a pasuk, we read it just recently, Parshas Re'eh, Boni matem l'Hashem Elokeichem, lo shizgoidedu v'lo sasimu korcho ben enechem lames. There's a Pirush HaPosher that's brought, Rashi brings, but there's a Pirush also the Gemara in Yevomes, Daf Yud Gimel Amud Beis, the Gemara brings like this, lo shizgoidedu, the Gemara says, lo yisasu agudois, meaning don't make too many groups. The male, according to this, mashma l'choire, that you're not allowed to make two groups. If there's one based in, there's one halacha, and l'choire, everybody have to follow this halacha. So according to this, the way the Gemara in Yevomas learns the pasuk, lo shizgoidedu, lo tasu agudois, don't make groups. So l'choire, you're not allowed to make more than one based in. Now the Gemara in the next page, Daf Yud Aleph, the Gemara says that on that posuk, Omar Abaye, lo amrin lo shizgoidedu, when we say don't make two groups or more than two groups, kegoin shte Batey Dinim be'ir achas, two Batey Dinim in one city, halol morim kedvir b'shamai, halol morim kedvir b'sila. One of them want to follow b'shamai, one of them want to follow b'sila. We're saying over there, don't make two groups, because in one city it's going to be that posuk lo shizgoidedu, don't make two groups. Aval shtei Batey Dinim b'shtei ayorois less lambo. If you have two Batey Dinim in two different cities, that you're allowed to do, because every city has the right to have its own based in, its own dayan. Okay. Now, Rava disagrees with him, and he goes further. Not only that you're allowed to do two Batey Dinim in two cities, Rava says, without getting why and what, like I said, for that we need a lot more time. Rava says, Amar Rava, ki amrin lo shizgoidedu gon based in be'ir achas. When we say lo shizgoidedu, don't make two groups based in one city. Palag moirin kedei b'shamai, upalag moirin kedei b'sila. Half of them saying in the same based in, we're going to follow the halacha. Let's say you have a vad of a bunch of rabbanim, and part of them saying we follow b'shamai, b'sila. That you cannot do. That lo shizgoidedu from the same based in coming two different psokim, that you cannot do. Aval shte Batey Dinim be'ir achas leis lanbo. If the same city you have two Batey Dinim, it's no problem. Every Beis Din could paskin the way he wants, and some people follow this Beis Din. So according to Rava, the Chora will know the klal Abaye v'Rava Halacha Kerova, and beside the six places in Shas, Yal Kagom, that's Halacha Abaye. The Chora over here would be Halacha Kerova. So you're allowed to have in the same city two Batey Dinim. It says lo shizgoidedu, meaning in the same Beis Din they cannot split half and half. In the same Beis Din they have to follow the majority, and that's it. You cannot say, we, two of us out of 10 holding differently. You cannot say that to the city. You all have to be in one page. But if there's two Batey Dinim in one city, it's not a problem. Now, this is the Gemara over here, and we see, by the way, similar to this, we see in Maseches Avodah Zarah, we see over there, also, there was such a thing in the same city here. The story happened like this. Hahu arba de tzachanta de otel lesichra. Came a boat with a fish called tzachanta, specific fish. Came to the city of Sichra, it's in Bovel. Novak Ravuna Bar Chinena, v'chozo be'kalfe v'shari. Ravuna Bar Chinena. Today, it's kosher, not kosher, you rely on a piece of paper. The olden days, they see the ingredients, they see kosher, not kosher. There's not a piece of paper. Anyway, Rav Huna Bar China went to the boat and see over there pieces of kulfa of the scale, yeah, the scale of the fish. So there's a machloki where they saw in the boat and the fish. I'm not going to this halacha specifically now. Also, just the idea. I'm bringing this over here. So Rav Huna Bar China says, it's kosher, sharia, it's kosher, the fish is kosher. There's no OU on it, it's okay. I see the simonim, it's kosher, without OU. Rava told, quoting again to one of the Perushim, how could you matter this? Because you saw some scales on it. Maybe it came from another, this city we have fish with scales and without. Maybe in this boat, they mix some fish of not kosher also, and the scales coming from the kosher into the non-kosher. It's mixed over there. It looks to you like it's kosher, maybe it's not. So what Rava did, Nofak Shipure de Rava v'Osar. Those days when they wanted to announce the psak of a Rav, today you put maybe on some chat, a group, WhatsApp. Those days they would blow a shofar, people know what's going on. The Rav paskin in such a case like this, and the Rav, his basin came and the people blew the shofar and they said, Rav said, this fish came to town today with this boat. Rav said it's osur. The Gemara says, Shipura de Ravuna Barchina B'Shore. The same time came another shofar from the basin of Ravuna. It said it's okay. So we see from that story that there was two Batey Dinim over there. One was Rava, it says it's osur. One was Ravuna, but Ravchina says it's mutar. Okay, again, how to learn this halacha l'maisa? I'm going to tell you. Obviously, everything has many pirushim, so I'll tell you halacha l'maisa. The Rambam Paskin l'choira looks on the surface like Abaye. The Rambam in Hilchas Avodah Zarah, Perek Yud Beis Halacha Yudal, he says after he goes to that lois gudul al pi pshat that you're not allowed to make certain hurt yourself after somebody passes away. That's a pshat like Rashi brings. But then b'chlal hazara zeh lois is going to do shelo yushne Batey Dinim be'ir achas. That's Abaye said that. In one city, Abaye said cannot have two Batey Dinim. Zeh noekim minek zeh, v'zeh noekim minek achil. Sh'dover zeh Rambam explains goyrem l'machlokas gedoyles. Shneim los it's going to do los asu agudas agudas. Okay, so many question this Rambam, the Kesef Mishnah, the Lechem Mishnah, l'chora halacha karak rova. You're allowed to have two Batey Dinim in one city. So the answer their way. So Lamaisa, the conclusion, without getting to the details of with this Rambam, the conclusion is either Rambam Paskin like Abaye for another reason why in this case it's exception to the rule that he goes like Abaye. Either he Paskin like Rava, and what he meant over here to say, Shalo you kashte Batey Dinim. The Chesef Mishnah brings some Rabbeinu Dovid Akoy, and you have to live ke, meaning in one Beis Din don't act like two Batey Dinim. If you put that chof kashte Batey Dinim, memela it's like Rava. You're allowed to have two Batey Dinim. But in one basin act like two Batey Dinim, that you're not allowed to do. Either way, you could argue with the Rambam Paskin, both ways you could say. Now, so I'll tell you, I did a little, the end of the day, there's a lot of research you could put on this, what's the halacha l'maisa. So I'll tell you, Kafachayim made already the whole job for me easier. I didn't have to do this whole job. He brings in Hilchas Pesach. Kafachayim brings in Tov Samach Ches, Hilchas Pesach. So he brings all these things will be brought over here by Rava. Then he says like this. He says he brings many poskim from the Rishonim, Rif, Rosh. They say clearly you're allowed to have in one city two Batey Dinim. He said, "V'hainu davka Beis Din echad be'ir echad have loises godedu." Meaning in one Beis Din they argue that become loises godedu, making machlokas in one Beis Din. Aval shte Batey Dinim be'ir echad, like Rava, two in one city. Elanagim lo have loises godedu. Bring to Mashka Mogan Avram and Arosh, Arif, and Ashach Bayeredeya. Like I said, he bring a lot of poskim. They're saying you're allowed to do that, and Furthermore, even you're going to say halacha like the Rambam, somebody choshesh to it, that in one city you cannot have two Batey Dinim. So they bring from many poskim, and the Mishnah Berurah bring on this simon also this inyan that every kehila in that city, every shul, it's called city on its own. That kehila in the same city. That the Shiloh was in Yerushalayim. We know. Till many years ago, 100 years ago, in Eretz Yisrael, the dominating posek was the Rabbi of Karo, the Mechaber. In Europe, they took the Ramo as he's the posek, we follow him, Eretz Yisrael. But then later on, when they made Aliyah, Talmid Agrot, Talmid Baal Shem Tov, you start having in Eretz Yisrael many communities, so they bring over there. וכן כזה בתשובה גינס ורודים חלק ירדה לין אשכנזים והספרדים שביר הקודש ירושלים. The kivan shesh l'Ashkenazim base havad levadom. The chidush was more for the Ashkenazim. Like I said, Eretz Yisrael originally the dominating posek was Rabbi of Karo. He says the kivan shesh the base in levadom. Ve'en amur Rabbi Masfardim hem nidoinim k'shtei Batey Dinim. There are two Batey Dinim. There's a basin for Sfardim, basin for Ashkenazim, and it's not a problem. Lois Godu. Lois Godu goes on one basin. They're two cities. ויש לאשכנזים מן הדין להחזיק בכל מנהגי אשכנזים כאילו בסוף יפרח שבאשכנז. You could in Yerushalayim now originally it was Rabbi Yosef Karo Damli. Now they could act like they're in Europe. That they have their poisek the Ramon. Yeah, so according to this like this. So according to this, definitely according to most poskim, you could do two Batey Dinim in one city. In according to one opinion in the Rambam, that you're not allowed to do in one city two Batey Dinim. It says clearly over that every shul, every kehila, it's a kehila b'fnei atzma. It's a ir b'fnei atzma. No, it's ir acher. It's not the same city. The meila halacha l'maisa and the choira. You could do another. That's what you see in the big cities in Yerushalayim, in New York, in California. They have many multiple dinim. The Sfardim, the Ashkenazim, the Litvakes, and the Satmars, and it's perfectly okay. It's not what it's going to do because everybody follow his own posek, his own based din.